Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and you can see the back of my head right there. Nothing I can do about that, but I will be shortened in a second as we get to our first property, which is 165 Hampshire, 339. It's 1125 square feet. Pretty open concept layout, and you've got the dark hardwood, you've got the granite countertops, you've got some Berber carpet upstairs. Comparing this to something like right now, the Mattamy Current model with no condo fees attached to it, this one's about $50-$60 a month, is for sale for just over $340. And so I look at the comparison, I say I'd rather go to that one. What gives this one a bit of an advantage though is it's got a little bit better finishing than you'd see in the model that's for sale, and it's a little closer to James Snow in Maine, which if you're taking the highway every morning could save you probably more than 10 minutes on the road getting on the highway. So we have Chapman Crescent here, 379, and so let's just get back to the first shot here. So it's a townhouse. It's a very small townhouse. The main floor on this one almost reminds me of a condo. You've got this little kitchen and a hallway, and then it just opens up into one room. So it's hard to position furniture. Is like, okay, you've got a table, you've got a couch, like where's your TV gonna go? And they've managed to fit the right scale of furniture here, but it feels to me like a 700 square foot condo. They do have a finished basement, which I think helps. They've done a nice job in the backyard, which is why I think 379 is probably going to work for them because of the finishes. There's only one full bathroom upstairs, and then there's also a bathroom with a shower, it looks like, in the basement, but there's no main floor powder room. That's how small this house is, and pretty decent location. You could probably walk to the GO train in about 15 minutes from here. Main Street North in Campbellville is at 389.9. Basically stripped this one to the studs. I'd still you sneeze hard enough, you could probably knock that back part down. And it looks like it's on a 66 by 137 foot lot. So is the property worth $389? Hard to say. I mean, land value for most of the stuff in Milton on a similar sized lot is hovering around $350, $380. So you're a little further out in Campbellville, but you actually have some house that you could maybe work with, although I don't think it's got the best curb appeal. You've got potential opportunity for commercial designation, which you'd obviously want to look into. It's the hamlet of Campbellville, so that's what you'd be looking into, is that area. Prosser Circle's 419. It's a Linwell end. Right here is Derry Road, so you're right beside Derry. That certainly has an effect on value. It is nice inside. We have seen this model sell up in the 420s, but it doesn't have necessarily that road influence. And I'm not sure what this is here. I guess this is the side yard, plus you've got an extra space here, and that can be a positive thing. You get a nice high fence to block some of the road noise in the backyard. All in all, I think it'll probably work out for them at this price. Tupper Drive is 498.9, about 1,900 square feet. We talked last week, or maybe the week before, about parquet floors and how I don't think I've ever met a buyer where parquet is on their wish list. And so it's one of those things where most people are either dealing with it as best they can or they're ripping it out. And when you look at the return on investment of putting actual hardwood floors in, probably for this whole house it would be between $3,000 and $5,000. On the main floor, do you get that back when you're hovering around $500,000? There's certainly a chance that you're not going to lose money on that opportunity. And then you've got the 3 bedrooms upstairs too. It looks like a nice big driveway, which is a good thing. If you've got 3 or 4 cars, that's oftentimes what people want. We always clarify with our clients. We say, okay, do you want the double garage or do you just want 2 cars side by side? And there's some people that need the double, but there's just as many people that say, you know what, if I could park 2 cars side by side, we wouldn't have to play the car switching game. And I think for that reason, it doesn't necessarily change the property value, but it certainly makes it easier to sell. Aird Court is 519. It's a Heathwood Asley. It's about 2,200 square feet. Nicely finished. I love what they did on the wall there with the stone. You also have that up in the bathroom. This would break the record for semis, and the finished basement is the thing that allows them certainly the opportunity to sell more than 5. Now, I'm not sure if some of the items like the projectors, some of those items can certainly add value when included in the listing. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they're definitely not shooting for what else has sold previously. They're trying to kind of break new ground on the high side. Turner is $579, and it actually looks like a pretty good home. You've got a separate dining room, but there's still connection there because you've got your half wall. You can still functionally use your couch. That's the thing. Some people like too open concept where you actually can't position furniture, so the half walls can oftentimes give you the best of both worlds. It looks like a pretty good setup here. You've got your family room upstairs, plus you've got looks like you've got 2 full bathrooms upstairs, plus you've got a bathroom down in the basement, which is finished. It's more than 2,500 square feet. I mean, when someone's shopping up in the high fives, they start to get picky about stuff like siding. But I think that this home definitely has the square footage and probably even a lot of upgrading that I think people would want for that kind of price. Woodward is $619. And so it's a little bit more basic inside. I don't know if the pictures really give you a sense of the size. The fact that it has a bidet, I just think that's cool. I've never used a bidet. I probably never will, but I just think it's neat when people have them. Strange that they would do granite countertops. There's a bit of a disconnect because those lights, the builders still use them. They've been around for 40 years or longer. And I just think that light fixtures is one of the top 5 things that you could do. So flooring is one that we mentioned. Light fixtures. So kitchen renovations would be another one. Bathroom renovations and paint. Okay, so those are your big 5 that I think are the highest return on investment items. And so $619. That home has enough square footage. I just don't know about the finishes inside. I think the kitchen looks pretty nice. So this one on Kingsway, $624.9, and it's on a great street. Like there's people that wait for homes on Kingsway. It's only a 3-bedroom, detached, obviously double car garage. There's a walkout basement, and I don't know if they've really showcased what's behind here enough. I'm not sure if there's the green space, if they're right backing onto the green space, but that would obviously be a huge benefit to somebody. I like the price point. I mean, it's sitting right in that zone where there's not a lot for sale right now in the older section. And yes, the home probably needs a little bit of work inside, but when it's finished, this one could propel up into even the 7s if it's done well. So that's a very interesting home. There's a couple in today's list that I'm really a big fan of, and I think that one has oodles of opportunity. We saw the one on Frobisher for $580 earlier this week, sell in basically just over a day. Somerville is $789. It's 3,700 square feet. There's 5 bedrooms. Every bedroom is connected to a washroom. So there's 2 Jack and Jills between the second and third and fourth and fifth bedrooms, plus the master ensuite. California shutters, hardwood. I believe that this one here has been listed before. It's a nice quiet street, and the thing about this one, if you read the bottom part, it says $5,800 of water purification system is negotiable. You want to talk about low return on investment items. You get virtually no value for that, so they would be far better off either taking that or even taking it out and selling it on Craigslist, because in terms of how it's going to affect the purchase price, I could see very few people that would pay anywhere close to that, because there's just not the same audience as there is for something like hardwood floors. Swindale, this is the first picture, which is kind of bizarre. It's like a weird cluttered backyard shot, but the home itself has good size. I believe it's about 2,800 square feet. It's got a great layout. I just think like when we look at like one of the ones yesterday on Nairn for $635, you look at what else these guys are competing against at around $7, and they're kind of getting killed. I mean, I just not horribly killed, just slowly tortured because of all the competition that's going on out there. And then we're going to move over to the Oakville board. We got 4 more here, so we're going to start off with Meadowbrook, and big fan of this one here, $499. The fact that you get an older home with a nice sized piece of property, you get a double car garage and a 4-level side split for less than $500 is very good. We haven't seen many of these in a long time. Even with some upgraded floors, you've got some pot lights here. You've got a kitchen that it looks like they've opened the walls up a little bit. You've got some more. Those are more original cabinets, but they certainly look like they fit in pretty well. There's things that you could do if you wanted to stain them a little bit darker. There's a sunroom there. It's just got a lot of things that I think are very desirable. Lots of floor space, and I mean, even if you look like the one on Randall that sold a little while back, and I mean, this one just has a ton of value. I think it's going to sell really quick. It's on an 80 by 110 foot property, and you're close to, you can walk to La Rose Bakery and all the rest of it. Yates is, this is a Snowberry model, about 2,100 square feet, and no hardwood floors. It looks like the kitchen's been done pretty well. The one thing that's very easy to change that we always recommend is that if you've spent all the money around here, change your hood fan, put it to stainless steel, put it to black. Here's another sign of a good photographer is that when because normally the exposure is higher outside, so you get that solar flare and it looks white outside the windows. The fact that they have this stuff, plus you can see all the colors inside the home, it's a very subtle thing, but that's a great sign of a good real estate photographer. They don't have the hardwood stairs, so certainly lots of carpet in here, and replacing stairs is almost prohibitively expensive. You could do it, but it's certainly not something that you like to write a check for. And then you've got, it looks like you're backing onto, I'm not sure if those are the Mattamy trailers right there, but it could be such that that there might be some work happening around this with the new phase. So I don't know if I love the price at $520. I just think you could get a little bit more upgrading and around the same size for that price. Got this one on Mary, which is 66 by 132, and really hard to argue that the lot itself is worth more than about 400. Like 350 to 4 seems to be where most of the lots are, and then so the rest of the house, it just becomes a matter of seeing the inside. There's no photographs here, so it's a little tricky to display that. And then there's this one on Fifth Line here, so it's just north of Britannia, and it's a very beautiful house. I have no issues with that. It's on a 150 by 250 lot. Certainly want to check development. We've put all the ROPA maps out in the past. I don't want to inundate you and throw them up again, but I'm concerned that the lot size, and even to somewhat the size of the house, because it's a 2-bedroom. There's only 2 bedrooms on the main floor, and asking almost $900,000. People certainly have choices to buy bigger homes on bigger lots in that price range. Maybe they're not finished quite as well, but they're still finished pretty well at that price. So that's the list for today. If you have any questions, give us a call, and don't forget about the Milton Buyer class happening on Thursday. I think we're pretty full, but we could probably squeeze 1 or 2 more people in. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.